Vic Power of the 1960 Cleveland Indians was one of the game's best defensive first basemen, between Hal Chase and Keith Hernandez. His first 7 years in the major leagues, he won 7 Gold Gloves. He played the base differently than most first basemen. He was right-handed. It is definitely easier to play first base if you're left-handed. But Vic Power was right-handed. He played 15 feet deeper than other American League first basemen, and told his infielders to throw the ball to the base, and he would get there to catch the ball. This enabled him to cover more range. And of course, in those days, everyone preached to catch the ball with 2 hands. He was very famous for catching the ball with sweeping one-handed grabs. Vic Power said that if God intended for you to catch the ball with 2 hands, he'd put 2 gloves on you. Power was very successful in the high minor leagues. He had 291 in Syracuse, 31 in Kansas City Blues in the Yankees organization in 1952, and I believe he had 349 in 53 in Kansas City. It was rumored that he would be the first black Yankee, but George Weiss of the New York Yankees was going to have none of that. He had Elson Howard, who was a much more conservative person. Vic Power was a character, and he was also dating white women. This did not set well with George Weiss. Concerning dating white women, Vic Power said he didn't realize that white women were so bad. So Power was traded to the Kansas City Athletics. In 1959 with the A's, Power hit .319 with 34 doubles, 19 homers, and 91 RBIs. 3 of his first 4 years in Kansas City, he topped the 300 mark, but in June 1958, the A's traded Power to Cleveland for Roger Maris. So 59, 60, 61, he was with the Indians, and then 1962, he was traded to the Minnesota Twins, where he took a young Tony Oliva under his wings, much like old Negro leaguer Quincy Troop mentored him when he was in Puerto Rico. Power once told Tony Oliva that Ted Williams credited shoveling snow for his great hitting ability. So all winter long, Oliva kept busy shoveling out Power's sidewalk and his driveway in the wintertime in Minneapolis. In 1964, he was traded to the Los Angeles Angels, where he would get together with Gene Mock and sing Western songs in Spanish. And by 64, his career was winding down. So I started thinking about making a career in acting there, being in Los Angeles. He played on only one Western movie as a bit player, and then returned to Puerto Rico, where he managed an amateur team and ran instructional clinics for children. He also secured a government position involving sports and scouted for the Los Angeles Angels. Vic Power was an underrated player and definitely a colorful player in the 1950s and early 1960s. Everybody, this is Apba Brian with Apba Baseball Classics, bringing to you Game 4 of the American League 1960 King of the Hill Tournament. It's a one-and-done tournament. This is the Detroit Tigers at the Cleveland Indians. The Detroit Tigers assumed the top of the mountain virtue of their victory over the Boston Red Sox 4-2, and then they defeated the Washington Senators 9-4. Here are your starting lineups for today's game. The Detroit Tigers will lead off with Ed Yost at third base, batting first. Al Kalines in center field, batting second. Norm Cash at first base, hitting third. Rocky Calavito in right field, fourth. Charlie Maxwell in left field, fifth. Chico Fernandez at shortstop, sixth. Frank Bowlings at second base, seventh. Lou Bure, the catcher, eighth. And pitching for the Detroit Tigers, Don Massey, 9-8, 3.47 earned run average in 1960. Here's the starting lineups for the Cleveland Indians. Jimmy Pearsall leads off and will play center field. Harvey King's in right field. Vic Power bats third, play first base. Tito Francona bats fourth in left field. Ken Aspermati is fifth hitter at second base. Woody Hales at shortstop, batting sixth. Johnny Romano, the catcher, hitting seventh. Bubba Phillips is playing third base and batting eighth. The pitcher is Jim Perry 18 and 10, 3.62 earned run average in 1960. We are ready to play ball using basic Strat-O-Matic, and Adil steps in the box as Jim Perry toes the rubber. Here's the pitch. 1-7 is a swing and a miss for strike 3. Eddie Yost, the walking man, goes down on strikes for the first out. Here is Al Kaline, center fielder for the Detroit Tigers. 2-5 is a possible single. That's a 3. That is a base hit for Kaline. He'll be the runner at first with 1 out. A stealing, so Cleveland will hold the base runner. Norm Cash steps in the box for Detroit, first baseman. And I dropped a die on the floor. We'll call that a foul ball. Here's the pitch. 4-2 is a fly ball to right field. 2 outs. And now Rocky Calavito, hometown favorite. 2-4 is a pop-up to third base. We go to the bottom of the first, no score. Leading off for the Cleveland Indians is Jim Pearsall. He is known for the book Fear Strikes Out and subsequent movie. He was portrayed by Anthony Perkins. 4-10 is a pop-up to the first baseman, caught by Norm Cash, 1 away. Harvey King, right fielder for Cleveland. 1-8 is a base hit for Harvey King. He's a grade D stealing, so we'll not hold him at first. And now Vic Power comes to bat. Vic Power is from Puerto Rico. 5-11 is a fly ball X to left field. The left fielder is Charlie Maxwell's a 3. 7-3 in the outfield is going to be a out, but the runner will be able to advance 1 base. 2 outs. Tito Francona, 292 hitter in 1960. He had a really high average, I believe in 61. Oh, 59. He had 363. Didn't get the batting title because he had 399 at bats. Here's the pitch to Tito Francona. 5-7 is going to be a pop-up to Norm Cash. 1 base runner, no runs. Here we go to the top of the second inning. No score. All right, I think I'll dispense with the dice tower. You can't see the dice on the screen, so I'll try to make it so you can see the dice. 2-7 is the roll. That's going to be a ground ball to third base. 5-3, 1 away. Charlie Maxwell's the first out. Chico Fernandez, the shortstop, comes to bat. 3-6 is going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. Second baseman Frank Bowling. 1-7 is a pop-up to the Cleveland second baseman Ken Aspromati. 3 up and 3 down. We go to the bottom of the second, no score. All right, Cleveland will bring up Ken Aspromati, Woody Held, and John Romano in the second inning. Here's the pitch from Mossy. 1-6 is going to be a base hit for Ken Aspromati, the older brother of Bob Aspromati in the National League. Detroit's not holding the runner on. Woody Held. 4-11 is a pitcher X. 5 is the roll. That's going to be a 1-3. Held is retired with Aspromati going to second base. One down, and catcher John Romano, one of the best catchers in the American League in the early 60s. 5-6 is a fly ball to left field. Charlie Maxwell is under it. He makes the catch. There's 2 outs. Here is Bubba Phillips. 5-7, that's going to be a pop-up to Norm Cash. 3 up and 3 down. Well, no, there was a hit, and then 3 up and 3 down. We go to the top of the third, no score. Jim Perry was the older brother to Gaylord Perry. He won 215 games in his career with a career 3.45 earned run average. Here's the pitch to catcher for Detroit, Lou Burberry. 6-6 is the roll. That's going to be a 1-9 double, otherwise single. It's a double for the catcher, Lou Burberry. Okay, the pitcher, Don Mossy, comes to the bat. He will square around the bunt. That's going to be a successful sacrifice. Fielded by the pitcher, 1-4. Burberry goes to third with 1 down. Here's the walking man, Eddie Yost. He's got 5 walks in the first 2 games in this tournament. Here's the pitch to Yost. Cleveland's going to play their infield in. 2-6 is a walk. That brings the bat Al Kaline. 5-8 is a fly ball to left field. B, that's going to be a sacrifice fly. Pretty sure it's... Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, runner on third scores. So Burberry tags up and scores. First run of the game for the Detroit Tigers. That's 2 outs and Norm Cash. Two eights the roll. That's a ground ball to third, 5-3. Detroit gets on the board, and we go to the bottom of the third. Tigers 1, Indians nothing. Okay, Jim Perry leads off for the Cleveland Indians. 1-5 is going to be a base hit by the pitcher, Jim Perry. Detroit's not holding the runner. And the batter is Jimmy Pearsall. 2-9 is going to be a deep fly ball to left. Very deep, but it is caught by the left fielder, Charlie Maxwell. Perry will hold it first. Harvey King's the batter. 3-4 is going to be a ground ball shortstop double play. 6-4-3. We go to the 4th inning. Detroit 1 and Cleveland nothing. Rocky Calavito leads off the 4th. He was traded from Cleveland for Harvey King, who is now with the Indians. Frank Trader Lane believed that he didn't put so much stock in home run hitters. He used to say, and also Joe Gordon would say this, that the Washington Senators have some of the most home runs in the league, but they also finished in last place. So he is perfectly willing to trade for the AL batting champion, Harvey King, and give up the home runs. But I think he got a slow contact hitter and gave up a slow home run hitter. Here's the pitch to Calavito. 5-6 is the roll. That's going to be a 1-3 triple. And it's going to be a single for Rocky Calavito to lead off the 4th inning. No outs. And Cleveland's not holding the runner. Charlie Maxwell comes up. 2-8 is a pop-up to the second baseman, Ken Espermani, 1 down. Chico Fernandez. That's a ground out to the shortstop, and it will be a double play, 6-4-3. To the bottom of the fourth, 1-0 Detroit. All right, Don Mossy goes back out to the mound, working this year as a starting pitcher. He was a relief pitcher in the 1954 champion Cleveland Indians, and with Ray Narleski formed a great bullpen for that team. Here's the pitch to Vic Power. 1-7 is the roll. That's going to be a ground ball to third base. Play made by Eddie Yost. 1 down. Tito Francona, father of future manager Terry Francona. 1-7 is a swing and a miss for strike 3. And now with 2 outs, Ken Espermati comes to bat. One 8 is going to be a drive. 1 through 7 is going to be a home run. Let's see. It's not a home run. It is going to be a double for Ken Espermani. He is 2 for 2. And will be at second with 2 outs. Woody Held. Woody Held was the first shortstop ever for the Cleveland Indians to hit 20 or more home runs. He did it 3 times in a row. Here's the pitch to Woody Held. 6-6 is going to be a fly ball to center field. Play made by Al Kaline. That closes out the Indians' fourth. We go to the top of the fifth. 1-0 Detroit. Frank Bowling will lead off for the Tigers in the fifth. 2-7 is a pop-up to third base. 1 away. Lou Berberet. 6-5 is a ground ball shortstop X. Shortstop is Woody Held. He is a 3. 1-3 might not be too good. That's going to be a base hit for Berberet. 1 out, and the pitcher, Don Mossy, comes to bat. He swings away. 2-6 is a strikeout. 2 outs. Top of the order to Eddie Yost. 5-11 is going to be a ground ball pitcher X. 18-2, that's going to be, he makes the play, 1-3. That closes out the top of the fifth. Go to the bottom of the fifth, Detroit 1 and Cleveland 0. John Romano will leave off the Cleveland fifth. Played in 4 All-Star teams. Very good catcher. Here's a 1-6 is the roll. It's going to be a base on balls. No one's going to hold the runner. Bubba Phillips comes to bat. "5-7 is going to be a pop-up to Norm Cash, and that is the 4th pop-up that Norm Cash has caught today. When I played baseball, I hated pop-ups. I'd take anything on the ground, but I didn't. I was always afraid of the pop-ups. Here is Don Mossy. 3-8 is going to be a possible single, 1-16. And it is a base hit for the, not Mossy. Mossy's pitching. Perry gets his second hit, Jim Perry. First and second. 3-8, yeah, 1 star means one base advance. So they'll run out the warm-up jacket to Jim Perry. He's at first. Catcher Romano's at second. Not a lot of speed on the bases. Jimmy Pearsall, the leadoff hitter, comes to bat. 4-6 is going to be a swing and a miss for strike 3. That's 2 outs. And it's up to the defending batting champion, Harvey King. He also hit 308 in 1960. Here's the pitch to Harvey King. 3-7 is going to be a fly ball to left field, caught by Charlie Maxwell. And Strat-O-Matic pitches his way out of this. We go to the top of the 6th inning, 1-0 Tigers. K-Line leads off the top of the 6th. From 1955 to 1963, there were only 2 seasons that K-Line did not hit 360 was one of them. Here's the pitch to K-Line. 5-6 is a 1-3 triple or a single for Al K-Line. They will hold the runner, Norm Cash. Okay, we're looking at Cash card, 58 strikeouts, 358 bats, 286 hitter. Okay, here's the pitch to K-Line. It's about 6 to 1 1/2 a dozen. If he hit and runs, his average goes down a little bit on the basic, but let's avoid the double play. They start K-Line. 8 is the roll. It's going to be a ground out to first base with K-Line going in the second. 1 down. Here is Rocky Calavito. 4-8 is a walk. First and second. Charlie Maxwell. Jim Perry finds himself in a little bit of trouble here. Here's the pitch. 5-3 is another base on balls, and the bases are going to be loaded. K-Line's at third, Calavito's at second, and Maxwell's at first. Cleveland's going to play the infield back. Hope to try to get a double play. Chico Fernandez, the batter. 3-3 is going to be a line drive to second base, caught by Ken Aspermani, 2 away. Here's Frank Bowling. And Frank Bowling put a quarter in the merry-go-round. Here's the pitch. 5-3 is going to be a base on balls, and Jim Perry walks in. An Indian runner, or Tigers runner, and it becomes 2-0 Detroit. Catcher Lou Berberet, who has 2 for 2 on the day, doubled and singled. 4-6, fly ball to right field. That will end the inning, but the Tigers score once. They go to the bottom of the 6th, 2-0. Vic Power will lead off for the Cleveland Indians. Strat-O-Matic has scattered 6 hits through 5 innings, but it's not allowed any runs. Here's the pitch to Vic Power, 4-7, second base X. The Detroit second baseman is Frank Bowling. He is a 2, and he makes the play. 1 away, and Tito Francona. 1-4 is going to be a pop up to first base. That's 2 outs. Can't ask for money. 1-9 is a hit. 1-2 is a double. It is going to be a double for Aspermani. He is 3 for 3 on the day with 2 doubles. They'll get the tie-in run to the plate, and Woody Held. Dangerous hitter. He hit 21 home runs in 1960. Here's the pitch to Woody Held. 4-8 is off the pitcher's card. That's 1-3 triple or single, 2 stars. That's going to score Aspermani. The Tribe gets on the board, and it's now Detroit 2 and Cleveland 1. John Romano, the catcher. 6-9 is going to be a 1-14 double. 2 stars. Second and third. And now Bubba Phillips, the 8th place hitter. Catcher Lou Burray goes to the mound and just talk it over with Don Mossy. Do they want to pitch to this hitter or walk him? And I believe they're going to pitch to him. 2-7 is a swing and miss for strike 3. But Cleveland gets on the board. We go to the top of the 7th. Detroit 2. The Indians 1. Don Mossy will remain in the game and hit for himself here in the 7th inning. Jim Perry winds and pitches. For 6 is going to be a fly ball to right field, caught by Harvey King, 1 away. Top of the order, and Ed Yost, who's walked in every game in this tournament. 3-9 is going to be 1 away from a walk. It's going to be a ground out to the shortstop, 6-3. 2 down. Al Kaline. Kaline is 2 for 2 and also has a sacrifice fly, an RBI, and scored a run. 4-4 is going to be a fly ball to center field. Jimmy Pearsall is under it and makes the catch. Go to the bottom of the 7th. It's Detroit 2, the Indians 1. Due to bat first in the Cleveland 7th inning is pitcher Jim Perry. The Indians will send up a pinch hitter, Johnny Temple, for Perry. Bobby Locke is warming up in the bullpen. He'll pitch the 8th inning for Cleveland. Here's a pitch from Don Mossy. 5-5 is a swing and a miss. Strike 3. Temple goes down swinging. And we'll go back to the top of the order. For the Indians, Jim Pearsall, 0 for 3 today, struck out once. 5-6 is a fly ball to left field. Charlie Maxwell is under it. 2 quick outs in the Indians 7th. Here is Harvey King. 2-7 is going to be a pop to the shortstop, Chico Fernandez. He is under it and makes the catch. We go to the top of the 8th inning. Detroit 2 and Cleveland 1. Well, it's a beautiful day here in Kansas City. It's 50 degrees, mostly clear skies. Makes me feel like spring and baseball are coming, and they are. Norm Cash will lead off for the Tigers. Bobby Locke is a new pitcher. He is 3-5 in 1960, 3.37 earned run average. 5-12 is a fly ball to center field, caught by Jimmy Pearsall for the first out in the 8th inning. Rocky Calavito. 1-2 is going to be a base on balls. The Indians will not hold the runner. Charlie Maxwell steps in. 6-6 is going to be a single for Maxwell. We're going to find out where. That's a question I had, and I asked Sports Fan Z what he does. He plays a lot of Strat-O-Matic. So for basic Strat-O-Matic, the direction of the hits, 1-2, he counts as left field, 3-4 center, 5-6 right. And I like that, but I think I'll make it 1-2-3, same side, 4-5 center, and 6 opposite field. That'll just be home rules. Maxwell's a left-handed batter. So that single will be to the opposite field, left field. Calavito's chance to get to third is 1 through 12 with 1 out. I think I'll take that chance. And he just makes it barely under the tag. First and third, 1 down. Comes the bat for Detroit, first and third. The Indians will play the infield back for a double play. Here's the pitch. 5-10, catcher's card X. The Cleveland catcher is Johnny Romano, 4-14. It's a pass ball, followed by a foul out. So everybody moves forward a base, runs, Calavito scores on the pass ball. It is 3-1 Detroit. 2 outs. and Frank Bowling. Two sevens will pop out to the third baseman, Bubba Phillips. Okay, we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's now Detroit 3 and Cleveland 1. Okay, another mention about home rules in Strat. I play 7 innings for starting pitchers. If two bad things happen to them in the 7th inning, they fatigue, and the plus hits become ground ball singles. But Don Marcy is not fatigued at all, and he'll be facing Vic Power, Tito Francona, and Ken Aspromati. It's getting late for Cleveland. They need to do something to stay in this tournament. Here's the pitch to Vic Power. 3-7 is a single for Vic Power. He is a C steal rating. Detroit's not holding. Tito Francona will bat. 292, 17 homers in 1960. He's going to try to get the ball into the air. Here's the pitch. 3-4 is going to be a fly ball to right field. He got it in the air, but it is caught by Calavito, and there is one down. Ken Aspromati comes up. Late in his career, Aspromati went to Japan. He played 3 years in Japan, and then he was named a manager of the Cleveland Indians from 1972 through 1974. Here's the pitch to Aspromati. 6-3 is a fly ball right field X. Detroit's right fielder is Calavito. He's a 3. 17-3 is going to be caught. Runner tags and goes to second. There's 2 down. Here is Woody Held. Tying run at the plate. He's got power. 21 homers in 1960. Here's the pitch from Don Massey. 2-4 is a ground ball to third base. Caught by Ed Yost. Throws the first, Norm Cash, and that's the final out of the 8th inning. We go to the top of the 9th. Detroit 3, the Tribe 1. Catcher Lou Berberay is 2 for 3 today. You will lead off the 9th for the Tigers. Here's the pitch from Bobby Locke. 3-7. Swing and a miss, strike 3. One away. Don Massey will stay in the game and go for a complete game. Here's the pitch. 2-8 is a, look at the wrong card. The hitter card is a strikeout. And now Ed Yost. 0 for 3 with a walk. 4-11 is a fly ball right field X. Cleveland's right fielder is Harvey Kings of 3. 18-3 is going to be select another. 13-3 will be caught. We go to the bottom of the 9th. 3-1 Tigers. Bubba Phillips leads off for the Indians. Here's the pitch. 110 is a pop-up to Frank Bowling at second base. One away. Cleveland's down to their 2 last outs. We've got a problem here. Hold on a minute. Timeout. That should not have been Bubba Phillips. That's Johnny Romano leading off. And a 110 roll is a ground out the shortstop. Now Bubba Phillips. 5-11 is a fly ball X to left field. The left fielder is Maxwell's a 3. 17-3 is going to be caught. And the Indians are down to their last chance. Bob Hale will be brought on to pitch hit for the Cleveland Indians. He is a pitch hitter deluxe. He once had very limited at bats, I think about 100 or so. He had 400 in the pitch hitting role for the Milwaukee Braves. Here's the pitch to Bob Hale. 4-9 is a drive. It might be, it could be, it is out of here, a pinch home run for Bob Hale. And Cleveland is, with 2 outs in the 9th, within 1 run. to the top of the Cleveland order. 2 outs. Jim Pearsall will be the batter. That's one bad thing against Mossy's fatigue. Here's the pitch. 1-2 is going to be a pop-up to second base. Caught by Frank Bowling. And that is the ball game. The final score, Detroit Tigers 3, Cleveland Indians 2. We'll be back with the wrap-up. Game 4 of the 1960 American League King of the Hill tournament's in the books. The Detroit Tigers scored 3 runs on 5 hits and no errors to defeat the Cleveland Indians, who scored 2 runs on 10 hits and 1 error. The winning pitcher was Don Mossy. The losing pitcher was Bobby Locke. Mossy went 9 innings, gave up 2 earned runs, struck out 4, and only walked 1. Today's star of the game is Al Kaline. He went 3 for 4, drove in a run, and scored a run. Al Kaline, the youngest player to win a batting title in 1955. And it says on the back of his Fleer Greats card that he was the first player to win Gold Gloves at 2 different positions. That I didn't know. I knew he's won several Gold Gloves, but I didn't know he won at 2 different positions. 18-time All-Star in the American League. The Tigers win their 3rd straight game. They're marching through the American League. Tomorrow they'll go to Comiskey Park to take on the 3rd-seeded Chicago White Sox. Hope you enjoyed the game. Join us tomorrow. For now, good night and God bless.